Welcome to the Beacon Way podcast, where your hosts, Jennifer Christensen and Adrian Wilkerson, talk shop about what really works in today's digital marketing world. As the co-founders of Beacon Media and Marketing, Jennifer and Adrian have been a part of digital marketing since its early stages in the mid-2000s. Tune in as they shine light on what works and what doesn't in the ever-changing world of digital marketing for small businesses.
Welcome back to the Beacon Way podcast. So excited to have Emily Miles here today. We are talking all things Google. Emily is our paid ads and reporting specialist, and I would say aspiring data analyst. Would you say that?
Absolutely.
That's the goal, right? I feel like we talk about data a lot. So we are going to be sharing tips today. We're going to be sharing some of the behind the scenes for Google, and really excited just to talk to you about a lot of questions that we get asked a lot, and hopefully this is really helpful for people. So Emily, thank you so much for being here. I just want to dive right into it. First of all, how did you get into doing ads? How did you get into data and Google Ads and this whole world that you're in now?
I don't think anybody gets into it in a regular sort of sense. Nobody goes to college and says, I'm going to do Google Ads. I've never met someone that does that. Right. So for me, it was just more of being in a communications major, but having a very mathematical mindset and knowing that, hey, I can track performance on ads and I can do this. And being born at the right time with all of the digital marketing and different platforms that continue to pop up for social media and different things. It was just an organic way to take my career as I ventured into the marketing world to be more on that front line, or I guess back end, to be able to optimize and push ads and just analyze and report and do better.
I love that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I never thought I'd be doing this in college, especially when I went to college a long time ago. So one of the questions we do get asked a lot is there's so many different pieces of data to look at. How do I even know what metrics I should be measuring? So when a client is looking at that or somebody's doing this for themselves, what are the core and most important metrics that people are looking for?
It really depends on what the goals are. If you're a new business and you just want to get your name out there, brand awareness, you're going to be looking at reach and clicks and impressions to see, are my ads getting in front of people? Are they getting in front of the right people? Are they clicking over to the website? Are they spending a normal duration or are they bouncing? Whereas if maybe you've been around a little bit longer, you're looking for more clients, butts in seats, or purchases if you're in e-commerce. It's just so different depending on what the goals are for each client. So being able to step back and go, hey, this is what our goals are. This is what we want to do with this particular campaign or ad set. How do we measure success? It's going to be individual to each person. More generally, it's going to end up being cost per click or cost per lead to make sure things are running efficiently. But yeah, it depends on what that overall goal is.
That makes sense. Just so we can get the acronyms out of the way, there's cost per click. So that's more about brand and reach. Is that right?
Cost per lead or CPL or CPA for cost per acquisition would be more lead generation or purchase. I know some people even go into ROAS or return on ad spend. If you are in e-commerce, I'm sure that's in your field. But that does also mean you have to know how much these ads mean to you. If you're only promoting one product at a specific price, that's a really easy way to say, I know this ad every time it gets a lead or a purchase will return me $100. But for other clients that are, I know we do a lot of mental health work, it's a little harder to say how much a client or a butt in the seat for a therapist, how much that brings back. So again, just knowing what that end goal is and knowing how to measure success through your KPIs or key performance indicators is huge.
Well, that's fantastic. I know when I first started looking at Google Ads, and I had to do it in the beginning when we first started the business, I had to learn a little bit about everything. And I remember getting really caught up in the Google quality ad score. It would give me that 1 through 10. And sometimes I'd see, oh my gosh, I'm in the red on this client. And initially, I didn't really understand, like, what's the value of that? Why do they give us that? What information is that showing you when you're looking at the overall quality ad score? And does it even matter?
Well, it absolutely matters. It's their way of rating your ad before it ever even hits the system, and it affects the algorithm. Obviously, they won't say that your ad score directly affects how their algorithm works with your ad, but I feel that way because they want ads that people are going to engage with on any platform. So seeing your ad score and trying to get it within the parameters so the algorithm will work with it and optimize. So again, you're getting in front of the right people at the right price and getting those leads that you're looking for, getting those clients.
It's almost like Google's giving you a behind the scenes of they want to look good because they want to have the right answer come up for their people that are searching, because that makes Google more valuable. And they're basically telling you if you have a low ad score, what are the things that it could mean? Is it just the writing on the ad? Is it the URL? What are the things that you would even look for to figure out, okay, what am I doing well?
Are your headlines focused on keywords? Are there keywords in your headlines that people are searching for or that you are targeting in your campaign? Having headlines that are descriptive and different from other people, but again, still focused towards those keywords. So you stand out, but not too much. It's this little dance between the two. And then descriptions, having unique descriptions that will catch a reader's attention so they do actually click through and visit your site. And then from there, it's having other additional assets, whether that's site links or a call extension or images, just having those additional assets so that the algorithm can continue to mix and match and optimize for what your particular clients are looking for. Because somebody who's looking for health and fitness services is going to be very different from somebody who's looking to go on a cruise in Alaska. Those are two very different groups. So you can't just have a one-size-fits-all sort of ad, but they have tried to format their ad creation tool so that it is more of that one-size-fits-all. So the more assets you can give it, the more extensions that are relevant to you, the better your ad will perform, as well as score higher on that quality score.
Yeah, that's really good. So does the landing page or the page where it's actually being directed, does that affect the ad quality score, or is that more like affecting conversions?
It will affect more of ad performance, but as you're setting up the ad, it's not part of that quality score anymore. It does still affect your performance and it is still relevant. It will make a difference if you have a poor landing page that doesn't have the same matching SEO keywords that you're targeting, if it just doesn't align, doesn't look right, if it's a completely different brand. Google is really cracking down on advertiser verification, making sure that you have the rights to use the branding that you're using in your ads. Does it match the landing page? Does it match that experience? Because like I said, they want ads that are excellent. They want ads that people are going to engage with and come back to, and not just come back to search and try again. They want success and good experiences for their clients. So the more consistent you can be from your ad to your landing page, the better that ad will perform.
That's really good. I definitely have noted over the years that all the pieces of marketing work together. And it's difficult when somebody, let's say, just wants us to do Google Ads. I know we've run into this before, but they want us to do Google Ads, but their website is not in good shape. It doesn't have a good UX to it. It's not a good user experience. And it affects directly the performance of the work that we're doing. I look at it as though you're wasting money by putting ads to something that isn't eventually going to convert. Why would you want to do that for your brand? But I think it's complex for a lot of people as far as looking at, okay, now I have to do this and now I have to do that. And there's a lot of foundational pieces to it. So I am curious on a personal level, what's your favorite part of ad management? Is it the like sleuthing out where the problems are, or looking at overall data? What part of it at the end of the day you're like, oh, that was a good day, I love doing that today?
I'm very much identify opportunities person, which I do through the numbers and through data. Like you said, I'm a total data nerd. I love numbers. I'm very mathematical mind. So being able to go in and say, hey, this ad over here, for whatever reason, is performing better. Let's look at it and see what's different, what stands out. Is it because it's more aligned with the landing page? Is it because it has an additional extension? What is scientifically break it apart and see, okay, if I leverage this in other places, do I get that same effect? So it's getting into that data science where you're leveraging your data in a way to continually improve, which is huge as we keep seeing pivots happen quickly in the digital marketing world. We're losing third-party cookies, and now we've got generative AI and all of these other things that are coming into play. So how do we pivot? How do we strategize? And it absolutely is a all departments approach. It's never going to be just paid ads who can push and perform. We've got to have the website backing us. We've got to have good blog SEO behind us. If we can have social media reputation pushing us as well, all of those things are just going to continually help improve marketing and ads performance.
So I have a question for you, and I'm not trying to trick you in this, but it's something that I just recently learned and has blown me away. So I'm just curious, if you had to guess, what would you say the difference is between return on investment, or we'll just say CPL, so cost per lead, on branded content on Google versus on Google?
There's actually a pretty big difference from what I've seen just personally. And again, things are changing. We're pivoting. People want to know who they're talking to, who that brand is, who's behind that brand. So if you can have that branded content, have your verified Google ads where you get to use a little logo that pops up next to your result, just anything with that awareness, it's always improved our performance. Having that foundation of this is who we are, this is our brand, that awareness piece, you can then build on top of it and continue having great success with your goals.
The national stats on that blew me out of the water. We just added this to our new Beacon standards, Emily, that are rolling out. It's like a 1,200% difference in increase in conversions. It was unbelievable. And that's more talking about not just the stuff you're talking about, which is the logo and the proof verification, all of that. All that stuff lends towards the value of the brand. But this is if people know who the brand is. And that just makes sense. Yeah. I think we all know that as marketers, right? If I know the brand that I'm going to their website, I trust them, I'm much more likely to do business with them. I was just blown away at that number. I thought it was maybe triple, maybe a couple 100%, 1,200% difference. And what I'm really excited about as we go into this new era of, like you said, all the pivoting and changes and generative AI, what I'm really excited about is that I think the value of the brand is just going to continue to increase. That personalization, because there's going to be so much out there you can't trust. There already is now, but it's going to continue to get more that direction where you really don't know who you're talking to, and trusting a brand and trusting knowing who you're talking to. That number, I believe, will even increase.
Oh, absolutely.
So just curious what your thoughts are on that. Do you think that's part of the direction that we're going, or do you have other thoughts on where AI might be ending up?
I didn't know that number specifically, but I'm not surprised that it's that big just from our own experience. Yeah. So I think you're right on the mark. It's only going to continue to increase because we are starting to even see now where, Google's got some tweaks to make on their AI and how that pulls from their different sources because they're not always trustworthy.
Right.
And so having that brand and that trustworthiness and that foundation is just going to continue to increase because people are coming back around to, we can't just trust everything on the internet. We've been saying that for years, right? You can't just believe it because it's on the internet. I think as we have more of that understanding as a culture that, now we've got these other things that are generating, and is it really a reliable source? Having that established brand and that relationship in your respective community as a thought leader, as a trustworthy member, as somebody who's going to look out for those in your community and take care of others, it's going to only build that trust and increase that number even more.
Yeah, I completely agree. I could not be more happy that your data brain and my mini data brain, I'm not quite where you are, but I love talking with you about it. I love your passion for helping our clients. And I think every day, I think you get to use it for good. So that makes me really excited when you're helping a client be more successful and helping more people in what they do. That is such a cool thing. Anything else you want to share with people that are just wondering, can I even do Google Ads? Can I try this? I just don't have the money to pay Beacon, but I know that we need to be doing this. I don't have the money to pay an agency. Is there any place you tell them to start to learn about it? Where can they get their feet wet and not get too overwhelmed in starting the process?
I think I would just go back to start at the foundation. Know what your goals are. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And break it down into those more manageable steps. I'm very much a planner, but I'm also very much a learner. So if I don't know what one of those steps might be or exactly how to bridge a gap, I'm going to figure it out. And I tell this to my mom all the time. I'm like, don't be afraid to break things. You can usually hit Control Z and undo it. So go in there, play with it, figure it out, and test. See what works, see what doesn't. Be educated in what your field is doing. The more good data you can put into yourself, the more good you can put out for your brand or your company.
I love that. That is so good. Thank you for your time today, Emily. Thank you for sharing just a little piece of your knowledge and just what makes our Google Ads so great, which is definitely a lot of the work that you do. And definitely want to have you back, and we'll be talking data box, and we'll be talking data, which I know you're just going to light up for.
Of course. I can't wait for it.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Beacon Way. We hope you enjoyed it and had some good takeaways. Please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if you've enjoyed the show, please give us some stars on your podcast channel of choice. For more information, tips, and notes from the show, check us out at beaconmm.com. For more information on how Beacon can help market your business, email us at welcome@beaconmm.com.